Good morning from Los Angeles. Good morning. Welcome to the Trading Desk with Sergio. Tuesday, busy day. I was supposed to go live at 8:30. Few things came up. I couldn't. My Discord server is going wild today for some reason. A lot of big moves, actually. A couple of reversals, it looks like. So we'll get to the trading desk in a minute. Good morning. All the information for you to join my Discord server is in the show notes as well as the rolling banner, but show notes are clearer in case you cannot catch it here. And yeah, we'll be trading. I already did a whole bunch of trades, so we'll get to the positions as I post my positions every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on the YouTube channel, community page of the YouTube channel. And but everything gets transparently posted on the Discord server on a daily basis. My larger trading account at Schwab, as well as my $1,000 Robinhood account challenge, which there was an article that came out on my blog on my website. Please go check it out, www.sergioavedian.com. It's right there, the website. It's free. You get it every Monday. There's over 30 articles. You can not only, if you don't like reading, you can listen to it. There's a listen button, and you can also get it in Spanish by clicking the Espanol button. It converts everything to Spanish, and you can listen in Spanish as well. So, good morning. Welcome to the trading desk. What's going on? As today's headline of the live stream indicates, SpaceX. Everybody's talking about SpaceX. Everybody's talking about Elon being a trillionaire. I tried to short the damn thing pre-market around 220. I actually posted it on the Trading Desk Twitter account. You guys can see that as well. But again, all of the information is in the show notes. I couldn't do it. They wouldn't let me. There are not enough shares short available, it says. Obviously, I'm not I'm not muted, no. I definitely am not muted. Yeah. And if you guys cannot hear me, put a thumbs up. Cannot hear me, but you should be able to hear me. No, I'm not muted, Mike. Anyway, without further ado, let's get to the positions. Sold a bunch, sold some nice profits on a few thousand shares of WSX. Have some covered strangles going on, which they will expire on Friday. The positions were set with certain ideas in mind, and whatever happens that's what I'm going to do. Just follow the path. And I posted the positions actually yesterday on the community page of the YouTube channel. So let's go take a look. You guys can see that. AD&T 2235, 2238, 1,500 shares. I am covered with 22 and a half calls. We'll see. We're right at it. We got 3 days to go. And we have a covered strangle on CBRG. I'm perfectly willing to get assigned and buy more shares without a question. Give me a minute. Give me 1 minute. Okay, so here are the positions. CBRG is the 2X ETF of CBRS. And yeah, I mean, I have a covered strangle with 6.7. Bought the shares at 6.11. Stocks 5.75. yeah, there's nothing to be done. Just if I get assigned more, I sold the 6-7. Okay, give me a minute. Just the mic is going nuts on my Discord. I don't know why. Oh, okay, it's okay. Because he sometimes goes nuts. If I get assigned more at 6, I had sold the combo 6-7 combo at $1.60, $1.55. Willing definitely to get assigned another 1,500 shares. If it's under 6, if it's above 6, options expire worthless. And if it's above 7, which anything is possible, if it's above 7, then I get called away for 44% RR for 2 weeks if they expire worthless. And 27% RR. So that's where we are. CRM, yeah, it's just steady stocks. These groups of stocks are absolute trash, man. It's just, I sold a very small position. I sold a put credit spread expiring Friday. Yesterday looked good. Today we're back to red. I'm not sure. I'll probably roll them to week after, or just take the L and move on. I had bought some IBM calls yesterday. Stock was really, really strong this morning. Sold, I had bought them at 360 average, sold them at 510 and 540. Took the profits, still have 5 left. We'll keep those. I have a synthetic on RDW, Redwire. Couldn't add to it on the way down, but at some point I'm pretty sure I will. I have a covered strangle on SNDQ, which is the 2X ETF, inverse ETF of SNDK. That looked like it was from up 50 to down 100 today. These stocks are moving wildly, folks. You just got to have the stomach for it. And anyway, if I get assigned more, I'll take it. I had 1,000 shares of Velo, Velocity 3D. They took 300 shares of it. Average cost 16.44. Stock is 24. I had sold Friday expiration 20 calls at $1. So they early assigned it, or they took it away, the 300 shares by Friday. If it's above 20, it'll get called away for 4.5 points. It's about 5K. WZX, I was long 5,500 shares between yesterday and today. Average cost was about 318 range. I sold them today at 360. On these small stocks, 50 cents, 60 cents is 15-20%. So, and now we're at 339. So did the right thing there. So we're trading. We got to sell, we got to buy. And last but not least, I closed NOWL today. I had bought it at 472, didn't sell it at 520 yesterday for $500 today. That's also in the same group as CRM. It's reversing. And I took a profit at 477, $50, nothing, lunch money, honestly. But a lot of things are moving. But today's topic is going to be SPCX, obviously. Well, besides SanDisk, let's see where these things are. SanDisk, yeah, goes to, wow, that's just wild. 2167 high, 1990 low already. I mean, 170 point range. Back to 2050. I think that has topped for now anyway. Short-term top, big reversal day, key reversal day. Depends if they don't close it. If they close it red, especially on this low, yeah, I think it's top. The big one is SPCX, obviously. SpaceX still at 212, holding strong, up another 10% today. So I tried to short at 220 this morning, high is 225. They wouldn't let me do it. Stock is, they started trading options on SPCX, by the way, 3 days after it went public. And IV is incredible. They have this Friday's options, obviously. So I was thinking of doing an iron condor on it, actually. But we'll see. I'll take a look at the pricing in a minute because they just imply volatility on these is 200%. It's ridiculous. However, if you're be careful with this because when they introduce options, what they do is there's no open interest, right? When there's no open interest, who's selling these options? Somebody's buying. There's a lot of YOLOers. So, for example, let's take a look at the volume already. Way out of the money calls, right? We remember what happened with the gamma squeeze on GameStop. Look at this volume. Look at this. Look at these contracts. This is for Friday, folks. So stock is 212, right? Okay. IV now is 250. Look at these YOLOers. I mean, I'm not going to go too high, but let's start with the 300 calls this Friday, 3 days from now, 30,000 contracts. There's 70 cents bid. High low for today's 50 cents low, 370 high. So who's selling these? The dealers are selling these, right? Because there's no open interest. So I'll just go every round number, 295s, 290s, 3,300. The big ones, I'm just going to go with 260s, 12,000, 250s, 30,000, 240s, 12,000, 230s, 20,000, 220s, 37,000, 210s, 44,000 already, and we're already only 9 o'clock. So this is going to be probably the most actively traded option series, right? The puts not much, although way out of the money puts are seeing some action. Again, this is for this Friday, okay? And so how do gamma squeezes happen? Well, somebody's selling these to these YOLOers, right? Well, because these are gamblers pretty much. And so the market makers have to hedge. So, well, how do they hedge? They just hedge by buying and selling stock. So that's the anatomy of a gamma squeeze, or if it's going to happen, a gamma squeeze, right? So the important thing for this is some of these people are day trading these options. So important thing is at the end of the day, take a snapshot of the volume, and tomorrow that will reflect itself in open interest. How many people took it over? How many people took it overnight? How many people actually opened the positions? Because some may be selling, some may be buying. You don't know. Well, the open interest will tell the story tomorrow. And if this volume action continues, let's say way out of the money, 300s, 78, 75 points or 85 points out of the money, 300s trade 100,000 lots, right? With an open interest of 10,000. Well, that 90,000 has to be covered. Dealers are not in the business of gambling. Yeah, dealers and market makers are selling you these options because there's no open interest. Who's selling you these? Some people who may be going short selling, but 90% plus of the activity is taken care of. The other side is taken care of by the dealers and market makers. Well, they're not in the business of gambling. Obviously, it's 85 points out of the money, expiring in 3 days. Somebody's willing to pay you that kind of premium. Yeah, you're going to sell it. But then when you do that, obviously, the closer the expiration an option gets, the more important the gamma becomes. So if you don't understand the Greeks, please educate yourself. And I have done this I've done it on this channel many times. And gamma squeezes happen, not often. The perfect gamma squeeze during the pandemic was with GME. That was also some short covering, but you're going to say, well, how could a gamma squeeze happen on a $3 trillion stock like SpaceX? It happens. That's because the dealers have to adjust continuously with buying and selling the shares. Well, if they put out 100,000 way out of the money calls, do you think they're going to stay naked? No, they're going to hedge. And they have their hedging rules, and they hedge. So the higher the stock goes, the more people buy those calls, right? And dealers hedge by buying the underlying, or by buying different options. Well, if they buy the underlying is going to get support. Underlying being SPCX. Now, it's complicated, but once you understand it, it's pretty simple, really. So SPCX and 212.72 after a big bounce in the morning, just going sideways. Okay. Will they squeeze it at the end of the day? Potentially. Now, if you cannot short SPCX and you think it's overpriced, look, folks, for me, fundamentally, the company is extremely overpriced. At 220, it's 3 trillion with a T market cap, which is more than Microsoft and Amazon. Again, not a great comparison, obviously, but a company that has 20 billion in sales, that's it. They're not going to see profits. Now, you're getting 3 different things with this company, okay? Obviously, you're getting the rocket company. You're getting the satellite company, right? And you're getting XAI. They're all in here. Well, XAI is, the satellite company and rocket company is doing well, obviously. Sales are going through the roof. Everything is going well. They're dominating their space. Great. That's the good mode. But XAI, building infrastructure for the XAI is absolutely sucking the life out of this company. And the CapEx spending is absolutely out of this world. So this company is not going to make money because of all the three, because of the drag on XAI for a long, 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 long time. And on a revenue basis, right? Okay, where are we? We're 150 times sales. Again, for me, it's trading, right? Would I buy SpaceX at 214, 215? Absolutely not. Will I buy and hold? No. But then Elon has such an effect on people, right? That because they're comparing it to Tesla, although the stock has done better than Tesla in 3 days that Tesla has done in 3 years when first Tesla was coming around. But Elon has a way of proving, what he's doing. And to me, buyer beware. I wouldn't buy it here at 215. I want to short it, but I want to short it carefully, watching the gamma squeeze possibility. Folks, this is a $3 trillion company. Okay, there's lots and lots of shares out there. Actually, I was surprised that because I was just trying to day trade the damn thing. If I shorted at 220, I would have covered at under 200. Make 10%, but they wouldn't let me. So, miracle of miracles, what has happened? Well, they introduced 2 separate different ones, and I picked one already. 2 separate 2x inverse ETFs. Inverse ETFs meaning, again, I'll talk a little bit about volatility drag on these 2x ETFs. A lot of people get hammered on these because they buy and hold them for long periods of time. These things are not to be bought and held for long periods of time, folks. These things are to be traded over a couple, 3, 4 days, maybe a week, maybe 10 days if the stock is rocketing. A lot of companies have that, right? So on SPCX is SPCQ is one that I'm going to trade. It's down to 944. It was as low as 8. So today's range on that, this is the 2x inverse bearish ETF. 8 low, 10.5 high. Well, actually, it's higher than that, 14 high. So if you're going to trade, if you're bearish on SPCX, this may be one. This may be one way of trading it. The other one is SNK, and that's or SKN, is it? I think so. Let me see. Yeah, no, SNK. Granted, 2x ETF. Which one has more volume? They both have plenty of volume. One is about 1175. The other one is SPCQ. It's easier to remember. SPCQ has same thing, plenty of volume, hundreds, actually couple of million shares already traded, and these just came out yesterday. Is Wall Street trying to tell you something? I don't know. But yesterday's high on SPCQ is 19. Today's low is 8. That's because SPCX is skyrocketing. So they're going to squeeze this at the end of the day. I'm pretty sure after going sideways like this right on top of WeWap. So, interesting. 3 trillion. I wouldn't have thought 3 trillion market cap over Microsoft and Amazon at 220. Incredible. But then, trade what's in front of you, man. You believe what you believe. Will I short it in this next time up? At the end of the day, they'll probably squeeze it. Overnight, they'll squeeze it some more. But pay attention to the options for potential gamma squeeze. Pay attention to the open interest. Pay attention to the way out of the money option open interest and volume. And these are the things you're going to learn here. I don't think anybody talks about it actually anywhere other than me. But there we go. Okay, no questions. All right, welcome to the trading desk. We did trade a whole bunch today since there's no question. And all right, let's go back to the positions. Not much to do. I'm just going to wait until Friday. And then, CRM, I'll probably roll. If not roll, take the L. IBM I took to W, NOW, and I took a small W. RDW, small red, I'm going to wait because when I think SPCX and all the other ones, Rocket Lab, ASTS, Lunar, they're all going the opposite direction. When SPCX rallies, these stocks are going down. Supposedly they're the competitors, but I don't put too much validity in that. SNDQ, fine. Velo, I'm going to get called away. Woozy, I took the profits at the perfect point, actually, 360, 365. You know, because you're going to say, well, Sergio, it's just 40, 50 cents. Yeah, 40, 50 cents on 5,500 shares is, you know, 2,500, 2,700 bucks in a few days. And for me, you got to take these, singles. A lot of things are moving wildly as usual, obviously. So if we go into Micron, that may have topped today. Well, no, not really. Let's see. Micron is down about 32. I can't believe these are points, folks. Okay. And they both bounce a little bit. And there's a potential double top, bearish divergence I'm watching on Micron. Soxel, same thing. I want to short all of these things, but then you got to be really careful. Soxel may have double topped as well. Definite bearish divergence on MACD. You know, same thing on SanDisk, same thing on all the other names. And, you know, AMD's retested the high turning red. Intel retested a high turning red. So, yeah, I mean, you know, trees don't grow to the sky, folks. You know what I mean? Hood is holding actually reasonably well. What else? Yeah. But the action is SPCX, SNDK, SLXL. We're trading. We got to trade. That's all we can do, right? Trade what's in front of you. Don't question the market. You know, fundamentally, is SPCX super expensive at 3 trillion market cap? Oh my God, yeah. But you know, these things may last longer than you have cash to withstand. You know, that pressure. 225 high. Last night's, I think, overnight high on Robinhood was like 230. So we'll see. We'll see where the options are. I will trade that SPCQ, which is a 2x inverse ETF. I will definitely trade that. It's down to 9. Obviously, as you guys know, the higher SPCX goes, the lower this one is going to go. But then again, these are not to be bought and held, folks. Please don't do that. It'll be very unhealthy for your pocket. Day trading, maybe. Swing trading, overnight, couple here, couple there, potentially. But yeah, the 2x ETFs with volatility drag, which is not understood by most people. A perfect example is Tesla, right? TSLL and TSLA. There, a lot of stocks have 2x ETFs. They don't have inverse ones, but a lot of them have bullish ones. So what else is going on? Some of the wild stuff that I'm watching. I'm actually interested in Zeta. Yeah, that's just kind of, I want to buy the stock. Actually, I don't want to deal with options on this one. This is the 1 year, 1 day. Yeah, that's right on top of 50 EMA. Maybe it'll pull back to 200 EMA at 18.5. I'll give it a crack. I want to give it a crack up to MX. Yeah, when we get down to 50 EMA, about 5.25 range, I'll be definitely interested in buying some shares. But you know, it's a stock market. Just they both up, they go down. I missed like an idiot. And yeah, I think I even talked about it last Wednesday on the trading desk. Amcor, look at that breakout. How beautiful is that? Just sideways, sideways, sideways. Bang. 80 to 97. Right. Okay. Well, you know, you can't be in everything. And but you know, taking profits is always the right thing to do, folks. You know, hitting singles and doubles in this type of volatile market is the way you accumulate it. And that's what I'm doing on my Robinhood account, by the way. Please go check out the article that came out yesterday. I opened that account with $1,000. Actually, it's also the screenshots are posted every Monday, Wednesday, Friday on that account. on the community page of the YouTube channel. I do it on the Discord server every day. I started with $1,000 when I launched the YouTube channel 2 years ago exactly, and I have not had any additions into it, and I did not have any. It was like an experiment. It was like a challenge, let's say. So I opened it with $1,000, and at the moment is about $15,500. So this year it's up about 150% range. Last year it closed. It went from 1 to 6. What I do there is long short. I don't probably 70% equities, about 30% options, some directional options, some selling options, some cover calls, some selling put credit spreads, all kinds of things, right? But mostly equities, going long and going short, physical equities. And since Robinhood, actually that account has done better since Robinhood started allowing shorting on their platform, shorting stocks, because they were not allowed before. I have level 3 approval. I can do pretty much anything, but then some of the stuff I choose to do on TOS with Schwab, Robinhood, still can't do it there. But it was my little account challenge. Let's see where I can get the account. Hopefully it'll keep going in the right direction. It just keeps equities making higher highs, higher lows. And my playbook is totally is in the article that came out yesterday. For me, it's not about posting on YouTube or doing this and doing that, or saying, "Oh, look at me, look at me." I'm like, no, it's how I do it. It's how I get there. It's how laser focused I am on risk management, how laser focused I'm on drawdowns, because drawdowns do happen. And then if you look at the picture of the screenshot of the equity in that account, yes, it had drawdowns, but I keep it max to 18% max. And then it's much easier for you to come back. And so the whole playbook actually is in that article. I hope you guys have a chance to go take a look at it. It's on my website, www.sergioavadian.com. There isn't much to do for me today other than what I did in the morning. I may add back to IBM, but then it's kind of almost back to unchanged. CRM, I think I'm just going to quit on these companies. I tried a couple times, Adobe, CRM, ServiceNow. They're just bad. I mean, they're just in a bear market of their own. Here it is. I mean, come on now, right? Look at this thing. I mean, making lows. Yeah, I'm just going to take my little $400 L and get out. It just doesn't make sense, man. I mean, stock rallies, and then 211, literally 10 days ago, we're down to 160. It sells 50 points. Adobe, same thing. These legacy software makers are getting crushed by AI for sure. There's Adobe. I don't know why I should be bullish on any of this stuff. I don't know. There, look at that. New 52-week low. There's ServiceNow. Again, I gave it a shot with the 2x ETF, NOWL, made $50. I could have made $500. I didn't take it yesterday. And the rallies are one day on these things. They're just one day wonders, and then they get hammered the next day again. And here's ServiceNow. Out of all three of them, that looks reasonably better, actually. So I'll keep that in mind. But then the other thing is, sometimes you got to take the L. And if you don't take the L, the small L is going to become a bigger L, and it's going to be a bigger drag on your financially, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, every which way. Yeah, they're going to squeeze this SPCX, it looks like to me. Now volume is dying. It's just kind of big pop. This is what happens, folks. Right? And then options are trading today, by the way. Very expensive options. Actually, I was going to take a look at an iron condor pricing on this for Friday, believe it or not, Friday. So what would be a safe, let's say, well, there's no such thing, but relatively safe iron condor for 3 days on this? How about 300, 305 call credit spreads? So we're selling the 300, buying the 305, 10 cents credit. Is it worth it? Not really. Is it worth the excitement? Maybe. And I'll go with the IPO open price at 165. So we'll go 165, sell the 165 puts, and buy the 160 puts. So I can do this with 25-cent credit. 5 wide. If the stock stays between 300 and 165, I collect 25 cents. On 5 lots, it's $125. It's going to cost me $2,500 to put this position on. 2% for 3 days. Is it worth it? Is it worth the excitement? No. Some people may think it is, but no. Obviously, I can go closer to the money and get more money out of it, but then the stock is wild. I mean, could this end up at 300 by Friday? Yeah. And the max loss with a 5 wide iron condor is $5. Okay, the stock will be 320. Fine. You know, you're going to lose $5. You took in 25 cents, you're going to lose $5. Potentially, you took in $125, but you could lose 2,500 less 125, 23.75. I mean, you know, what is there to say? Risk reward, folks, risk reward. And next week, they don't have weeklies, unfortunately. They have monthlies. Next month is going to be interesting in these. $100 puts are 55 cents. Do you think SPCX is going to 100? The other thing is I posted on the Trading Desk Twitter account. Lockups are starting as early as August 21, August 11th, by the way. 20% of the shares may be out for sale as early as August 11th. That's not that far, folks. That's a couple of months away. And at least 2 to 3 weeks before stock starts taking a dive, and this happened with CoreWeave, that happened with Circle, all these lockups expiring, you know, stocks are taken down because the insiders, and in this case, 20% of the shares available August 11th is massive amount of shares, okay? Massive. So, you know, that's why I think it's going to be under pressure. But then, you know, after this initial move up, we may get a little bit more of a push here. We're at 3 trillion market cap. I don't know. None of this makes sense to me. But then I'm not here to make sense of things. I'm here to trade. So iron condor, no, we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. So no games today. World Cup games. Amazing World Cup games yesterday, by the way. Absolutely amazing. All right. Actually, today is on options. Martin is back. What do you mean? You have 3 days. You have tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. You said yesterday when the options come out, it'll go down. It's not going down, Martin. It's not. It'll go down when the dealers have finished. No Friday? Why? Markets are closed on Friday? What's on Friday? No Friday. What do you mean no Friday? Are the markets closed on Friday? I don't think so. Is there a holiday? Not that I know of. Let's see. Are they? Okay. Is the market closed on Friday?
The U.S. stock market is usually open on Fridays from 9:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern Time. However,
I know that dumb
it
shit.
closes on Fridays that coincide with official market holidays, like Good Friday or early closure days. For the exact schedule, check the NYSE.
Okay, let's check the NYSE trading. Um, 2026, Friday, June 19th. Juneteenth? Huh? What's Juneteenth, bro? I'm ignorant. I don't know. So market is closed on Friday. Well, that's why I make it. Okay. I don't know either. It must be something important. What is Juneteenth? Let's see. Forgive me if I'm ignorant. I don't know. Gemini, what is Juneteenth?
Juneteenth is a U.S. federal holiday commemorating the end of slavery.
Oh.
It's also known as Freedom Day or Emancipation Day.
I take it back.
The arrival of Union.
I take it back. All right, Juneteenth. Good, Vartan. You're good for something. Don't put comments like that, Vartan. That doesn't make sense. Anyway. Yeah, I don't know. This is okay. I'm gonna delete this fucking thing. What are you doing? Doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, this is where we are. I'm gonna go take a break. I'll be back. What do you guys want to do? You want to watch the SPCX? SPCX. There you go. SPCX. There it is. That's the daily SPCX. So first day it traded 540 million shares. Yesterday it traded 250 million shares. Today it's already at 220 million shares. We'll probably do more, obviously, than yesterday. 1 day, 2 minute. There's the 2 minute chart on SPCX, and this is SPCQ, is the 2x inverse ETF if you want to short the thing. Obviously, SPCX goes down, this will go up, you know, a 2x lever. Again, this, please be careful with these, right? I mean, maybe swing trade a couple, 3 days, yes, but buying and holding these things will kill you because of volatility drag. So don't buy and hold these things unless you get on a run. Unless, like, let's say, you know, when we had the run on the quantum computing stocks, yeah, then you can get on it. Or when Tesla has a 100-point run, yeah, you can get on TSLL. But if it's just going to be sideways to lower, these things are going to zero ultimately. Because they don't own the shares, by the way. They own swaps and they own options, and they get repriced every day. And because of the volatility drag, you're just going to keep losing money. So the math is simple on this. So I've done videos about it, multiple videos on the YouTube channel, so go check those out. And so I'll leave you guys with this one, I guess, or SanDisk. SanDisk is wild today. Look at that thing. Yeah, there you go. This is a stock, folks. 2167 high, 1990 low. I don't know what else to say. And then it goes from 1990 to 2075. It's like pork bellies. I used to trade pork bellies. It looks like a pork belly chart. This is SanDisk, $1 trillion company, folks. Crazy. So I'm going to go have a little couple, and this is the daily on SanDisk. MACD is okay, but all the other ones, Micron, AMD, TSM, all the other ones are bearish divergence, including Soxel. This is Soxel right here. This is the 3X ETF of SOX. There we go again. I was short Soxel actually and covered and whatever, but I don't like those labels. The trade labels don't show trades. Apply. There we go. Looks like a double top to me. Close the gap. I don't look happy. And this is the killer right here. This MACD bearish divergence that's throwing. And on down days, volume is a lot higher. Up days, volume is shrinking. So be careful with these things, folks. Same thing is happening on Micron. Potential double top right there. MACD again, the same thing. Bearish divergence. All the earnings are coming out on Micron. When are they coming out? 6/24 next week. Okay. All right. So we're here to trade. We are definitely here to trade. I mean, SanDisk is so far from every moving average. Even a mean reversion trade will probably be a good buy on SNDQ, which I'm long in the account. And I'm about to get assigned more shares, which is perfectly good at the moment for me. So that's why you do the covered strangle. You know what I mean? So we'll see. So Friday, market being closed, all the assignments are going to take place on Friday, I guess. Okay, cool. Actually, I didn't know. Thank you. Let's put SNDK and I'll have a cup of coffee. My favorite for the World Cup, France is playing today at noon against Senegal. Yesterday was the biggest surprises ever. Cape Verde. I have no idea where it was. I had to Google it. It's an island chain off the west coast of Africa. They tied the pre-tournament favorite Spain 0-0. Last night, Saudi Arabia tied New Zealand 2-2. Qatar tied, I forgot who they tied, but they tied last minute goal. There are no bad teams this year. Every game, and yesterday, Uruguay tied. Oh, Iran tied New Zealand. Uruguay tied Saudi Arabia. There are no pushover teams this year. Every game is contested to the death. I am loving it. This may be the best World Cup ever, ever, ever. Today we have 4 games. We're going to try to watch most of them. I have a podcast at 3 p.m. I'll probably miss the 3 o'clock game, but this is SanDisk. Let me put the 2-minute chart on SanDisk. You guys enjoy it. So I'll be back. If you have questions, please put it up about Gamma Squeeze, about SPCX, about SNDK, about Soxel, whatever it is, or about any other position. So I'll come back and answer. I'll be on for a couple hours today. Okay, what's going on? I see saying this bounced to VWAP and then pulling back. SPCX, same thing. Market's closed, okay. Because Friday it's closed, is it better to sell options? No, not necessarily. It's already priced in that it's 1 day less. So my most important thing you guys can do for yourselves is have a really solid option calculator, so that I have 2 of them that I can recommend. I use both. One is paid, one is free. Free version is by barcharts.com. The option calculator is really, really effective. For example, I had bought 15 IBM calls yesterday, July 300. Stock was 270, 268, whatever it was. And before I even bought them, I used the option calculator. And the other one, by the way, I use is iVolatility. That's a paid one that uses the Black-Scholes model, and it's a lot more customizable for yourself. For example, you can change all the parameters of an option's value, obviously from days outstanding to expiration to the volatility levels. You can play around with the numbers. You can do it to a certain degree on bar charts, which is the free one. I think as a free one, it's amazing. So the way I do it is, if I'm going to take a directional on an option, basically buying calls, buying puts, before I even buy it, I'll go put the parameters in there. So yesterday when I bought the IBM calls, because they pulled back to 50 EMA, then I'm like, okay, on this pullback, I'm going to just give it a crack, small position, 15 lots. Okay, and I bought 385, 365, 345. I was going to buy every 20 cents down, 25 lots. I only bought 15, July 300s. But then before I even did it, I said, what if IBM rallies 6, 7, 8 points by tomorrow? And the answer I received was they're going to be about 530 to 570 range. So 360 average, 530 to 550, let's say 2 points, that's 70%. I'm like, okay, fine. So I went and bought the options. And then overnight, I put orders in at 510, 540, and 570. So I scaled in, I scaling out. Well, this morning, IBM was up 7 points plus. And bouncing off the 50 EMA, quick trade. The 10 out of the 15 lots were sold at 510 and 540 because I had the orders sitting there. You have to do that. Markets are moving too fast. You have to have orders sitting in order for you to take advantage of the volatility, right? Because you try to catch it, you're going to get screwed. And as a human, you're not as fast. So orders got filled. I sold 10 lots out of the 15 at 510 and 540. Look, folks, 340 to 540 is 2 points. 2 points on 340 is 75%. And people say, oh, you can't make money by buying options. Absolutely, you can. You can't make money by doing directionals. Of course you can. There's all these fools. They only know is I'll sell, put, sell calls. I'm like, no, bro. Directional is where it's at. That's where the juice is at. But if you size correctly, you'll be okay. And I'm holding 5. We'll see where that goes. But, if I were to sell at 570 this morning, which I got really close, offer was 560 at some point, that's 15 lots, about 2 points average. That's $3,000. I mean, all these 2, 3, 1 help, as long as you're taking the L's, though. As long as you're taking the L's. Can you post a calculator? Go to www.barchart.com. You'll see it there. But that's the free one, and it's a really good one. So you can put in your parameters, you can put data expiration there, you can change IV, you can change all kinds of things on that. I don't know what kind of model it runs on. I'm hoping it runs on Black-Scholes, but iVolatility runs on Black-Scholes, and it is minuscule payment. I don't know what I'm paying, like $5.99 or something a month. But then iVolatility has a lot more things on their website as well. So I take advantage of those, and that's why I'm paying. I'm not just paying for the calculator. That's a great website if you're into options. And so that's what you should do if you're taking directionals, right? You can do the same thing if you're an option seller. Always figure out, like, if this happens, where is this option going to be? If you sold a put, if you sold a call, where is the option going to be? Like, how much decay I'm going to get? You can change the days and figure out, okay, if I follow Tasty and then do their method of sell out 45, close at 21, you could, figure out what the option is going to be down to if you're an option seller. Always figure these things out. Obviously, the one unknown is implied volatility, and implied volatility changes all the time. Market makers change it all the time, depending on the underlying volatility, right? So, but if implied volatility were to stay the same, then you'll be able to know, okay, if I'm looking to make 50% on this trade by selling puts, selling calls, whatever you're doing, you'll know exactly, because the underlying movement is going to affect that option price, obviously, right? So if you sold a 20 delta call and a 20 delta put on a strangle, all right, well, put it in the calculator. Figure out when that's going to get to 50%. It's going to get to 50% by decay if the stock is going sideways. But in this day and age, we know, like, for example, SanDisk options. I would never sell naked strangles on SanDisk or Micron or Soxel or things like that, because that thing has 150-point range. You're going to get shaken out on the downside. You're going to get shaken out on the upside. Do the directionals on these. Yes, they're expensive, but then the underlying is moving so much that you're going to end up making money. But the key is, if you're wrong, like, for example, this morning, if you're a huge believer in SanDisk and you paid, when it was up $60, you bought some calls and you bought weeklies, for example, those are going to disappear literally in front of you. And so even the directional obviously do involve some sort of analysis. Most people use technical analysis. But understand that directionals are possible as long as you're doing it with some sense and sensibility, and you're doing with risk management in mind. And those are the things that you guys you need to pay attention to. So again, the free calculator is by www.barchart.com. The pay one is called iVolatility.com. I think I'm getting cut off, but anyway, iVolatility.com. The paid one. The bar chart doc, start there, and then if you do feel the need to get to the paid one, then you can get to the paid one. Barchart.com is a really, really good calculator, and for free especially. It's amazing. But that's what you need to do. You need to figure these things out. The rest of the world is doing it. I mean, you YOLOing into something is fine because you have a belief, but unfortunately, it doesn't work like that. And so I talked a little bit about, a lot of tweets yesterday on my feed were about gamma squeeze is going to happen on SPCX. Potentially, yes. So we'll see how the open interest looks. Yes, covered strangles are printing. Covered strangles are printing. Cool. Whatever that means. Covered strangles are printing. Okay. I mean, I Mr. Premium, can I give you some of my money? Seriously. Just you printing all the time, man. Okay, put one loser of yours up here. Let's see what it is. I mean, unless you don't have any losers, you're 100% win rate. I'm not trying to be funny with you. Seriously, I take you seriously. I'm hoping that you're making money. I know you're not, but I'm hoping that you're making money, that it's always printing for you. Because I know who you follow. But my goal with you is, I mean, I'm hoping all of you are making money, but then it's really not likely that all of you are making money. But like, put one of your covered strangles here. Maybe I'll do it. I'll join you. Like, put the trade on. You can print it. You can post it right here. So As far as, gamma squeeze on SPCX, too big of a company to start with, too many shares outstanding, not big enough of a short position yet, just like GME was. Because people just put these things up because they have no idea how the anatomy of a gamma squeeze is. And then they go, a gamma squeeze. I'm like, no. Gamma squeeze happens in very specific conditions, under very specific circumstances. SPCX, I don't think there's going to be a gamma squeeze because they opened the options at 240% volatility already. And in the morning, they were at 200% volatility. So here's a question. If a stock goes sideways, and if you buy calls or puts, can you make money? Most people will say no, because they say, well, there's decay. No, actually, you can. One of the most important pieces of an option pricing is volatility. So this morning, implied vol on SPCX was about 190, 200%. Well, already we're at 240%. So market makers are increasing the implied volatility on that. Okay, because they're the sellers of the option. They're going to make you pay. They're going to make you pay as much as they can, as long as there's buyers. So if you bought an option, let's say on SPCX this morning at 200 implied vol, and the stock has been going sideways for 2 hours, and implied vol goes during the day from 200 to 240, you will end up making money on those calls or puts, because that's what's going to happen. But also at some point, like when sometimes implied vol gets to like 3, 4, 500%, well, that becomes ridiculous to take directionals on these types of underlyings. But again, you got to know all the stuff before you get your car and get in the race. A lot of people don't know any of the stuff, and then they get their car and get in the race and they get smashed. They hit the wall. That's what I'm trying to stop, actually. I don't want any of you to hit the wall. So let's see. Let's see what's going on. SanDisk, not much going on. SPCX. I'm going to day trade that SPCQ, which is the 2x inverse ETF. There is 2x bullish ETFs as well. Yeah, it's just kind of going sideways. SPCQ down to 920, 798 low, 1062 high. I mean, yeah, that's pretty solid. Yeah, we're just going to hold the positions until Friday. And then, well, not Friday. The Vartan said the markets are closed. We're going to hold them until Thursday. And the one's expiring on Friday. Yeah, Velo is definitely going to get taken away. Woozy is done. Yeah, cleaned up. Shit ton of buying power. More stuff is going to get cleaned up over the weekend. 1,000 shares of Velo. Now it's 700. Somebody early exercised and took 300 shares. For example, that trade, right? I mean, I paid 16.44 right on top of 50 EMA, where it was support. Stock was 26 high. And then I paid about 1,000 shares of 16.44. Sold the weekly cover calls at 20. So that's 20 plus 1 is 21. 16.44, that's 4.5 points. Well, on 1,000 shares is $4,500, right? So, I mean, that's how you do. That's how you're going to do it. And then on the other hand, CRM, like loser trade, down $500. Well, I'm up 4,500 on one, down 500 on the other one. Is my account green at the end of the week? Absolutely. That's all I care about. I don't care about anything else. The winners, for example, IBM. Again, I don't have just winners. IBM. Okay. Made about $3,000, 2,500. What another loser? Let's pick another loser. SNDQ, for example. Okay. I'm going to get more assignment. I'm going to get more shares. I had sold a covered strangle. Calls are going to expire worthless, obviously. Down a couple of grand. Okay. But then it'll all even itself out, and at the end of the week, you're green. Account equity is what I watch. Green, you're green. CBRG, for example, bought the stock at 611. Stock went as high as 8.5. Stock went as low as 5, I think, right? Bought the stock at a 611, sold it. So I bought 1,500 shares. Not more than 5 to 8% is allocated to each position. Every one is a position, by the way. And closed ones are not highlighted. So when I do post it, just look at the highlighted ones. The other ones are closed. Woozy, for example. This morning, I had bought 5,500 shares at about 518. Cleaned up. It was a 3-day swing trade. Here are the sell. Here are the prices. Here are the prices. 360 average. Okay, well, 320, 360, 40 cents, 5,500 shares, $2,200. That's swing trading. Now stock's down to 340. You could go back to 5.5. I don't know. I don't care. But all these singles and doubles help, right? And then on the other hand, yeah, so if you do follow me, this is not trading, financial, or investment advice. What I do is very risky. Please do your own due diligence before jumping in and following me. And my account size, everything else, my tolerance, risk tolerance is different than yours. Although my small Robinhood account is doing actually better than my big trading account, which is fine. And I posted those as well on the community page of the YouTube channel. Go check it out. In fact, I'm going to post it again tomorrow. But if you're inclined, I do have a Discord server. It's under the trading desk. Please go sign up. There's a free version and there's a premium version. And on the premium version, we're running a special 50% off for the first 100 people that join. The server was launched last Monday. It's doing really, really well. I think we got like 75, 80 members already. And so I'm here to teach and educate and inform. I'm not here to give you a fish. I'm here to teach you how to fish. And it's like, for example, on CRM, $600 loss. Is it bothering me? Not really. Because it's a put credit spread. I know what my max loss was when I entered the trade. I sold the put credit spread at 2. Right now, they're probably 3 or 280 range. Will I take the hit? Right now, okay, they're expiring. I probably will close that. Well, stock is 160.70. Today's high is 166. I had a profit on it. I didn't take it. It turned red. Red goes green. It's a no-no. But then all the other positions are doing so well that I go like, okay, I'll give it some time. Well, it didn't work out. So these expire on Friday. Now that I know, not on Friday, on Thursday. They're deep in the money. There's potential early assignment risk. So what do? I go close the position. Either I roll or I close the position. And I hate this group. ServiceNow, Adobe CRM. So I'm going to go close the position, take an L right in front of you guys. So Mr. Cash Cow over there, I do take L's. I'm willing to take because I position size correctly. I only sold 6, right? And, I don't mind taking a $500 L because all the other ones were probably close to 10K. I'm like, okay, no problem. Don't bother me. Be a man, take an L. That's one thing that you guys got to learn. You got to take an L. In fact, I'm going to take an L right in front of you people. We're going to buy those and sell those because there's early assignment risk. We had 6. Yeah, they're 306. I'll even pay 310. I sold them at 210. Lose $500. No problem. Let's see if I can get them done at 310. And then be done with it. No, 310. Okay, we'll pay you 315. We'll lose 525. Okay. You gotta take an L, man. If we bounce like 50 cents, I'll get that done. If not, I'll be up and done. Okay. See? Took an L. Sold it at 210, bought it back at 315. $525 loss. Great. Amazing. Headache gone. Early assignment risk gone. All gone. Stock is shit. I took a shot. Small position. Didn't work out. Screw it. Right? There you go. Closed. Out of my face. That's how you do it, man. That's how you do it. In fact, let me go post it in my members. Yep. 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 What else is going on? I want to short SPCX badly. Really. Like I'm itching to do it, but I'm not going to. Because when I get like this, it's mostly wrong. So I took an L right here, right in front of you. Right? 6 options, lost 1.5, oh, $630. There you go. But it's done. Good riddance. Everything else is green. So I'm like, well, what am I questioning here? I'm selling put credit spreads where I should sell it. Here's CRM, down 371 from being up a couple of bucks. Garbage. Lower lows, lower highs. I took a shot right here. 165, 160. Right here. I waited until it pulled back there. And still going to make lower lows. If you look at CRM or Adobe or ServiceNow or all these other ones, look at these bear markets on these. Look at this thing, CRM 370 high. And I'm like, yeah, I had a bounce, short covering bounce is pretty obvious now. And now it's making a little new 52-week low. I'm like, why am I messing with this shit? Right? Yeah, it's good. It's all good. So, yeah, man, you got to take the L. You got to be a man, take your L. Let the winners run as much as you can. You know, the math is math. If you take 50%, if you're 50-50 on your trade, you don't have a high win rate, which is, I couldn't care less about win rate. If you take a 50% gain and 25% loss on every trade you put on, and your size allocation is between 5 and 8% of the account value, you will have like a 300% year. But then most people don't take the L's. Well, right here, I took an L right in front of you guys. Am I upset? No. I have 7, 8 positions. 5 are decent green. I let them run. I made what I thought I would make on it, closed them, put it in the pocket, and the rest are the rest. You know, take the L. So will I learn from CRM and be pushy now and roll and sell more PCSs and do this? No, man, I'm wrong right here. Wrong. I waited 50 points to sell a PCS. Still wrong. Still ended up losing money. Now, if I didn't close this with 2 days to go, this is almost at a max loss point, 165, 160. I can close a position at 315 today. If I waited 2 more days, right, this thing is going to be worth 5. Why would I wait until it's 5? It's already there, right? My wing width was 165 short, 160 long. That's the PCS, put credit spread. If I waited 2 more days and stock is exactly where it's at, those are going to be at stock is 420 instead of 315. Yes, this could rally tomorrow to 165, and I could have made the 1200 that I thought I was going to make. It's okay. It's cool. It's all good. Right? I'm not trying to think negatively. I'm just managing, right? I can lose on 3 trades. I can lose $600, $700, $800 a piece. If on one trade you crack a $5,000 trade, which is, I did it 3 times this week already, I'm okay. I'm okay. Overall equity. There is one thing that all of you are missing, and YouTube is missing, and X is missing, right? Which is what? They don't look at account equity. It's looking at you in the face. It's getting marked to market every second of every day, right? If account equity is going up, you're doing fine. Yep. Anyway. All right, what's going on? All right, let's see. You put a trade up. Yeah, I'm cutting off. Internet is sketchy. Like right now. All right, so Mr. Premium okay. I know these stocks very well. So DKNG 3028. What is that? First number is CCC and second is the CSP. Cover call. Is it cover call? CSP, can't secure puts. What is that, buddy? Did I put credit spread? This is not enough information. Give me more context. Give me more context. ASTS, first number is the CCC. What does that mean? Cover call? I don't know. You own the shares? Obviously, right? If it's a covered strangle, then you own the calls. I mean, you own the shares. Is that what you're saying? ASTS is 72. How are you making money on that? What about the stock that you own? I'm not sure. I want to understand. I really do. Okay. I'm not going to learn from you, but I want to understand it. The first number is CCC and the second is the CSP. So you bought the shares, you sold the 88 call, and you sold the 80 put on ASTS. Where'd you buy the shares at? That's a covered strangle, by the way, because you said covered strangles are printing. Where'd you buy the shares at? I'm waiting. I said, okay. Sony, what's the pay one, please? Okay, it's iVolatility. Happy Tuesday is here. Okay, we're going to look at these individual positions. Martin didn't say the market said that they're closed. Okay, we're going to leave that there. Cover call. Okay, so where'd you buy the stock at? In order for it to be a covered strangle, you buy the stock, you sell the put, you sell the call. That's a covered strangle. Where'd you buy the stock at? Okay, for example, where'd you buy DraftKings stock at? Where'd you buy ASTS stock at? Where'd you buy Enphase stock at? Where'd you buy Tesla stock at? Because are all these the same positions? You buy the stock, sell the call, sell the put, right? Correct? Okay. Where'd you buy all these individual shares? That's the key. The rest doesn't mean anything to me. And obviously you're willing to get assigned more shares, or you're going to roll and open more can of worms for yourself. I'm waiting. Did you watch the UFC fight? Yes, I did. Amazing fight. Especially the last one. Holy shit, that pretty boy didn't look pretty at the end. But I'm watching the World Cup. Yesterday's games were amazing. Saudi Arabia, Iran. Oh my God. These people are playing to the death, man. Best World Cup ever. Seriously. Competitive-wise, anyway. Mr. Premium, I'm not questioning you. Don't be afraid. Where'd you buy the shares at? If you did those strangles, right? You own the shares. Where'd you buy the shares at? That's the key. I'm cutting off you here and there, but no big deal. Is that capital L, LOL? No. Yeah, it's L, yeah. Right there. I take an L as good as anyone, my man. You gotta take the L. Oh, why doesn't TOS show the header columns up top? I don't know. Maybe I'll ask TOS. Why doesn't TOS show the header columns up top? Column headers, you mean? What are you guys doing to me, man? I'm reasonably proficient in English. What does header columns mean? You guys are trying to mess with me, or what's happening here? It does show. It's on my thing. It's the way you set it up. You can put, if you're doing options, you can put delta, gamma, volatility. If you're doing stocks, it shows cost per share. And then next to it, it says mark. You can put bid, ask, whatever you want. There's a customizable header line. And then once you customize it, you save it, and then it shows you exactly what you want to look at. Mine are set up. I'll show you guys the way mine's set up. On my positions page. It is there. I don't know. I post it every day, Mike. What do you mean? No, they're laughing. Doug, can you just tell them what's going on here, Doug? These people don't speak English, man. I don't know what's going on. All right, Mike. Just for you, Mike. Mike asked me these questions live as opposed to asking me on the mind. Okay, here you go. I'm going to show you guys how I have my shit set up. All right, let's go. Okay, monitor. Here you go. See, up top, description, instrument, stock, description, name of the company, quantity, days, expiration, cost, mark, percent change, bid, ask, high, low, historical IV, implied volatility, PNL open, PNL day, buying power effect. That's how I have mine set up. Deal? Deal. Cool. All right. But you can set up yours any way you want to set up. Doesn't matter. Get it? Okay. Mike, did I answer that question? Okay, we're still waiting for Mr. Premium. Okay, so he said printing. Okay, he said these. He has covered strangles on these. DraftKings 3028. Okay, where did you buy this stock? Tesla 410 390. I get it. You bought the shares, you sold the cover call, you sold the put, CSP. I get it. Where? I have a couple of those on CBRG and SNDQ. Okay, what you pay for the stock, Mr. Premium? I know what cover strangles are. I do it all the time. I heard about that, bro. That's bullshit, man. Yeah, they had to go back to Mexico right after the game. They're not allowed in the U.S. They're only allowed for the games. That's a little bullshit to me, man. I don't know about that. Come on now. They played their hearts out, man. That was a fantastic game between Iran and New Zealand. 2-2 tie. Holy shit, they were running. Amazing, amazing. This World Cup is amazing. All right, so let's analyze Mr. Premium of the option 888. Happy Tuesday. Covered strangles are printing. Okay. Are you still here? If you're not here, I'm going to waste my time. I'm really taking this seriously. Little bullshit is a big shit. Yeah, I know. I shouldn't know. What's this is the World Cup. Politics should not come into this. These people are here to do their best and play, and none of that should be important. Seriously. These are athletes that are trying to represent their country. What the top people do, the presidents and the mullahs or whatever, bro, they're here to represent and play. And if you ask those players, they're just here to look good to the world, and they look fantastic, man. Fantastic. But the Cabo Verde, so they had a goalie who had the game of his life. He's a 40-year-old Brazilian goalie. First of all, Cabo Verde, I know Salsa Verde, but I had never heard of Cabo Verde. I'm being honest. Salsa Verde, I eat all the time, but I'm not trying to make fun of this. Cabo Verde is an island chain off the coast of West Africa. I don't even know what the population of the country is. They're in the World Cup. Yesterday, they played Spain, which is the pre-tournament favorite to win the whole thing. Spain has these world-class players. They won the Europa Cup this year. I mean, they win everything, right? They're world champions, not the current ones, but they were the favorites to win. Not after I watched them play yesterday. They have the best young phenom on the planet, Lamine Yamal, and blah, 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 blah. So these 11 players show up with a 40-year-old goalie in goal. 40-year-old is kind of old, but for a goalie, it's okay. Okay, this guy played the game of his life. I mean, the saves, he's like a little cat, bouncing all over the place. Without him, they would have lost 3-0. Long story short, before the game, he had about 45,000 Instagram followers. Literally 5 hours after the game, I think he had 3.5 million Instagram followers. How about changing life? So this is why I'm saying that's why sports are the best. On any given Sunday, anybody can do anything. If Spain played Cabo Verde 900 times, 888 times, they will win. But that was that one time that with their coaching, and they parked the bus and they wouldn't allow a goal. They tied 0-0. That had to be the biggest shock of this World Cup so far. Because everybody's thinking, how many are they going to score? 8, 9, 10 goals? Not on his watch. This guy, he was amazing, right? The Spanish couldn't unlock that box that they put right there. In a 20-yard box, they put all their 11 players, played their hearts out. I was at the end actually rooting for them to go score one and beat their asses. And I was like, that's why you watch these games. It's amazing. It's amazing. All these countries, right? And Qatar was playing Switzerland. Switzerland is winning. It's supposed to be a huge favorite. 94th minute, they got bang, header, boom, tied, 1-1. Qatar, bro. Saudi Arabia, Iran, Iraq is playing today. I mean, these people are at the World Cup. They're not pushovers, but then on paper, it looks like they should get demolished. Not so. Not so. The only one actually was Germany beating Curacao 7-1. In fact, Curacao scored the first goal on that game. All I'm saying is sports is amazing. And World Cup is every 4 years, like the Olympics. You gotta watch it. If you like soccer, I don't even know what that means. Football. If you like football, the round ball football, you gotta watch the World Cup. The emotion, all the stadiums are sold out, 70, 80,000 people, all their colors of the jerseys that they're wearing. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. So France is playing at noon today, so I'm going to log off right about 11:45. France is playing Senegal. You guys are going to say, who the hell is Senegal? France should demolish Senegal. No, not so fast. Senegal's top 5 players are all in the top European teams. For example, Sadio Mane, who was the top striker at Liverpool. Now he's playing in Saudi Arabia for like a couple $100 million or something. All I'm saying is competition is amazing. So Mr. Premium left. He didn't like it. Mr. Premium, I'm trying to understand. Where did you buy these shares? I get the covered strangle. Where'd you buy the shares, my man? Because that makes a big difference. And then I know what's going to happen. You're going to get into money. Well, okay, let's look at your, what was it? 410, 390 on Tesla. 30.28. That's kind of tight on DKNG. And it was 88.80 on ASTS, right? Let's take a look where those stock prices are at least. You know what I'm saying? Okay, let's take a look. All right, so Tesla, you bought the stock, let's say, I don't know, 400, let's say. Because it's a covered strangle, you have to own the stock. Tesla stock is 403. And I don't know how far out you went, but you sold a 390 put and you sold a 410 call. Well, day before yesterday, 370. I don't know when you did these. So the day before yesterday, 382, you were kind of sweating it. Okay, so ASTS, 88.80 it was. 88 calls, 80 puts, and you own the shares. So I'm assuming I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt and say you bought the stock halfway point. Perfectly. Right? You bought the stock at 84. Okay, so stock is 83, and you sold the 88s and 80s. Okay, how are they printing? Stock's down 5. You're in the money. You're going to be in the money any second now on the puts. Yeah, it's not as easy as she puts it out there anyway. So DKNG, DraftKings, 28.30 he did. He bought the shares, I'm assuming, again, a couple of days ago, right in the middle at 29. That's a tight one. When you're doing covered strangles, by the way, I wouldn't be that tight. 88.80, okay, I don't mind. 410, 390, okay, I don't mind. And then he had end phase, right? Went to end phase. Bought the shares, sold the puts, sold the calls. Okay. Now what's going to happen is a couple of these puts, if the market pulls back, is going to get in the money. For example, this one. What was his end phase? 55 something? What was it? 55.45. Okay. Okay. So 55.45. So as the 55 calls out, 45 puts out, and he bought the shares, let's say at 50. Well, he couldn't have bought at 50 unless it was 6 days ago. And I don't know when his expiration is. Yeah, I don't know. Hopefully they're expiring Friday because they seem like they're right in the middle on all of them. Hopefully. But Enphase looks like a bear flag that's about to go. But hey, what do I know? Anyway, good work, Mr. Premium. SPCX 210. Are we pulling back here? No gamma squeeze today, huh? Okay. Yeah, we'll pull back about 6 points. And SPCQ. Nope. Wrong symbol. SPCQ. Yeah, I like this SPCQ for sure. SanDisk 2029 down 78 now. Okay. That's a key reversal, man. Soxel, same thing. Soxel, key reversal. Yeah, I don't know, my shit's slow today. Yeah. Miss Oxel is wild too, by the way. 274 high, 234 low, 40-point range. You want day trade these. Forget about the SPY and all that shit. Yeah. There you go. CBRG back above 6. Cool. Both sides expired worthless. Okay. That's a cover strangle right there, Mr. Premium. Right there. Perfect cover strangle. Bought the stock at 611. Sold the 6-7 combo at $1.55. Stock is 608. They're expiring Thursday now, obviously, now that I know markets close on Friday. $1.55 on 611. Let's figure this out. If the stock is between 6 and 7, $1.55 is what is that? $1.55 divided by 611. $1.55 divided by 611. That's 25.4%. If they expire worthless. 7 plus $1.55 is $8.55. That's the premium I took in. If it gets called away, it could be over 7 by Thursday. I don't know. It doesn't matter to me. So that's $8.55 minus 611. That's 244. 244 divided by 611. 40% RR. This position was put on 10 days ago. Okay. Or if it's below 6, I get assigned another 1,500 shares at 6 minus 155. At 445, all the stock is at 6. And then my cost basis goes from 445 plus 611 divided by 2. Then it goes to 528. On 3,000 shares, all the stock is at 608. There you go. I mean, you set the position up and you just go, okay, cool. See, CRM rallied 60 cents since I closed it. I probably could have closed it at 280, 290. Am I sorry about it? No. Sayonara. Take the L. Take the L. Oh, what else? Not bored. I don't want to do anything. Everything is set up the way they're supposed to be set up. I'm like, I honestly don't want to do anything at all. AD&T, if I get called away, okay. If I don't, fine. I like the stock a lot, actually. around 1,500 shares. This is the second round of 22.5, so I'm selling. Last month was $1. This month is 50 cents. Cost basis lowered down to 22.25. I don't mind chucking it at like 27, 28. We'll see. We'll see. We'll just gotta wait. All right, I gotta pay attention to my members, Discord members. Okay, that's for Mike. Mike does shit that I don't even understand. Okay. Okay. Are you guys going to squeeze SPCX at the end? Oh shit! Look at that. Selling comes in, drops to 204. I think that's a back candle. Back to 213. Yeah, I think they're going to squeeze this thing, man. Let's look at the options. Let's see how many hundreds of thousands of YOLOers are there. This is Friday expiration, folks. At the money IV. It's dropping now. Now the DK is about to take these fools' money. It went from about 190 to 240. We're back down to 180. Melt those options, market maker. Make those YOLOers pay for it. At the monies are 185 now, of course. Okay. Stock is 213, no Friday. 300 calls. So far traded 35,000 shares with 35,000 lots contracts with 0 open interest, obviously, because it just started. Today is 60 cents. So 45 cents low, 370 high on those today. IV of 245. And and they're down to 65 cents. So some fool paid 370 for that, thinking SPCX by Thursday close is going to be 300 plus the 370, 370. Look at the highs on these options. 310s got up to 320. 320s got up to $3. They're all three, but look at this volume. Look at these YOLOers. So 300s, 35,000 contracts, 275s, 10,000 contracts. There's a lot more at every $5. I'm just giving you guys the round numbers. 260s, 40,000, 14,000. 250s, 38,000. 240s, 14,000. 230s, 24,000. There's the money. 220s at the money. 51,000 lots so far traded, contracts. 31,000 on the 215s. 50,000 on the 210s. Look at that. Look at this volume. 0 open interest. You guys see this column? It says OI, open interest. 0 open interest. All the YOLOers are buying way out of the money calls, hoping, praying for a gamma squeeze. They go as high as 3. My God. They go as high as 380 strike. 26,000 of the 380s traded today. 10 cents low, $1 high. Somebody paid $1 for 380 calls expiring Thursday at 1 p.m. And market maker obliged because there is no open interest. Or whoever shorted them to them. Well, we'll find out what the open interest looks like on these. It's going to be very interesting. And on the put side, puts are trading too. Out of the money, puts are trading a ton for Thursday. The highest volume is 200s with 36,000 contracts. 490 low, 15.5 high on those. IV down to 178. Yeah, these are going to be these are going to trade us probably more than any other option. Crazy. Gotta love these YOLOers, man. If they weren't existing, how do we make money? These YOLOers, Robinhood YOLOers, or whatever they are. It's insane. Insanity. Insanity. But it is what it is. Capital L. No capital L's. Premium couldn't handle the corner. What does that mean? Premium couldn't handle the corner? I don't know what that means. Okay, I'm going to go take a quick break because I want to watch the France game. So I'll be on for another hour probably. I'll leave you guys head to head with the pressure. Bro, pressure is intense. But they're just playing their hearts out. The speed of these games is insanity. 90 minutes of running like that at that full speed, man. And the tackling and the fouls and, oh my God, the pressure. Yeah. Well, Turkey, they were making fun of Australia. Australia comes out, parks the bus within 20 yards of their box, all 11. All their center backs are 6'1" to 6'4". The dumb shits are crossing into the box while their striker is 5'11". So I'm going like, what kind of tactics are those, bro? That coach from the Turkish team should be, and Turkey has like superstars, 5, 6 world-class superstars. And Australia, 2 counterattacks, 2 goals, beat them 2-0. They're all going like, what just happened? Yeah. It's not about how expensive the donkeys are on your team. It's the team. Australia played the perfect team game and kicked their asses. And I'm like, although I think U.S. is probably one of the best teams I've seen this year. I don't want to get my hopes up about the U.S. team because they usually lay an egg, but they're definitely going out of the group stage. I think they're gonna go far. If they play the way they played against Paraguay, oh my God, did they just annihilate Paraguay? That was an amazing game. That may have been the best U.S. game I've seen them play. So, love the game. So you guys see the pit behind me? That's where I started, right there. This is not one of them is not me, but this is where I started 30 plus years ago, right there. First was a runner, then a trader. See all those hands up, all the hand signals? It seems like all these guys are selling. So when the hands are like this is buying, this is selling. Contracts, how many contracts, the months. This is futures trading. It's probably gold or S&P futures. And each color represents a different company. So I don't know what yellow was, and I don't know what burgundy was. Ours was gray. Jackets, you all wore jackets with your badge. And then I knew that if you're gold, let's say you're maybe Goldman Sachs. And this looks like probably one of the big boys because they have so many traders in the pit. But so I'm going to leave that as my wallpaper for my live streams. The pits. Love it. Love the pits. Look at that dude with the bald head, and he's like, he's like, I need to sell. Look at that pressure on him. That's pressure right there, Vartan. Sports are sports. But anyway, so I'll put this thing on. SPCX this time. Yeah. It's kind of boring. I did everything in the first 2 hours in the morning. So IBM was that trade, right? Put on. See the rally in the morning? I have still 5 lots to sell at 570. It's not going to get there until the stock gets up there. And you guys see this move right here in the morning? I was like, yep, we got what we want. And on the yearly chart, the reason I bought them yesterday was because if I get the chart, there it is. No, not SanDisk. I don't want SanDisk. I want IBM. Computer is slow. Internet is slow. I don't know what's going on. Come on, bro. There it is. There's IBM. So it comes down to 200 EMA in between all the moving averages. IBM rallies from 212 to 332, literally in 8 days. 220. This is IBM, folks. Okay. This is when Trump said, I love IBM and all this shit. And then comes all the way down. Patiently you wait. You don't go short these things too many times. And then right on support, Again, this is chopsticks technical analysis. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But the probabilities are higher than if you buy something off of 200 EMA on the first pullback or 20 EMA, your probabilities are higher. And the volume profile was right. I'm like, okay, I'll give it a shot. Okay, cool. Bounced. I wasn't expecting a bounce today, but next 2-3 days, I was like, okay, if I can do 60-70%, I'm gonna do it. And I got what I needed, and we're done. So I'll keep the 5 for a few more days. These are July expiration, by the way. There's 30 days to go. I expect this to go back up, so I will actually add to that position, trade around it at some point, and because when the volume comes in, this will take another leg up, and that's why we did it. That's why I did it. I'll leave you guys with SPCX. Yeah, today's volume is more than yesterday's already. Pretty wide range. 200 low, 225 high. It's 10% range. 3 trillion, folks. Elon, the first trillionaire. All the left-wingers are going crazy about, oh, he's got $1 trillion. He doesn't have shit. It's all in the stock. And then now what he can do, though, is that he can lend the stock out, borrow money, and write that interest off. Well, the tax codes or laws allow it, so all rich person, that's all they do. They put up their shares like Jeff Bezos does it. Everybody, all these billionaires do it. They put up the shares as collateral at a brokerage house and borrow money and invest that money and then write the interest off. Don't we wish we all had that luxury? We had billions and billions of dollars worth of stock. Well, you got to give them the credit. They were smart. But, I ain't complaining. Anyway, so that's SPCX. I'll be back.